The Canadians had just taken up position when they were the object of intense Chinese artillery fire, followed by a ground assault. The American troops fell back, and the Canadians were surrounded, but held the hill until the Americans regrouped and relieved them. The Canadians had prevented the loss of a major strategic position.
The Second Battle of Hill 355 and the Battle of Hill 187 the following year were for different stakes, but had their own grave consequences. The October 1952 battle for Hill 355 was a major show of Chinese strength, particularly through massive artillery fires, and a canny attack that bypassed many of the Canadian defenses. The Canadians were able to hold on, some having to have played dead while the Chinese bypassed them so they could get out their wounded and link up with survivors. But the night resulted in the first major capture of Canadian prisoners of war and a bloody nose for the Royal Canadian Regiment.
In May 1953, troops from the Royal Canadian Regiment were deployed to Hill 187, which was on the front lines, but where the defenses had badly deteriorated. Before the defenses could be repaired, the Chinese attacked, forcing the Canadians to fall back to their bunkers. At one point, the Canadians called in Allied artillery fire on their own positions, which the Chinese had occupied. When the Chinese retreated, the Canadians retook the hill. This was one of the last battles before the armistice was concluded, and once again the Canadians had held the line under heavy attack and prevented an enemy breakthrough.